into a wall. Yeah, if you're going to play like that, then you have to ban it. But you gotta play around what these abilities these champions have. You gotta treat it like an Aphromoo.
Yeah, I would actually maybe look for a Gnar ban here. It looks like they didn't really know how to play around the Gnar ultimate. They got 3-man stun into walls over and over again. He just like tore their team up.
And for Gambit, it's Pantheon and Azir coming in as the first 2 bans, and Aurelia and Syndra from CLG.
Really weird that Gambit's the one banning Azir here. I haven't seen CLG really be playing
Maybe they
Azir.
thought Cabochard wasn't good at it. They said, never mind.
So they just ban out their own
ban it
champions.
out. Why not?
You're not gonna play this champion, but he's banning himself, so that would be a little counter logic there.
Yep, absolutely. Jarvan coming in as his 3rd ban though from Gambit.
Yeah, so now that Pantheon and Jarvan are banned, I think CLG is gonna have to ban Lee Sin in this scenario because, if they don't, then Gambit's just gonna first pick it. Everybody knows Diamondprox is a really great Lee Sin player, so.
I haven't seen it come out here yet, but we love to see some Lee Sin from Diamond, and it is indeed the Gnar from CLG coming in there as the last ban.
I think that's a smart ban. I think banning out Aurelia and Gnar definitely limits Cabochard, who's been really a solid force on that team. Syndra just is a target ban at NIQ. Gambit no longer going with the triple jungle ban though. They could have went for that and then went for the early listing pick regardless, but it seems like they don't fancy ThinkCard as strong anymore.
I definitely agree with taking away the Thresh from them. I mean, Edward might not be the best in the laning phase with it, but out of lane, he's just hitting hook after hook and making really nice plays with it.
We saw it yesterday as well when Aphromoo he plays a solid Janna, but it lacks the playmaking potential. Basically, Janna amplifies what your team is doing for you, and then you just help them. But if your team's struggling and you want to make those plays yourself and you want to make those picks, then Thresh is a better option. So I really like Aphromoo's Thresh. I think he's really good on it.
And then the LeBlanc that gets locked in for Link, as he did well on that as well. And Jackson Corki pondered over for Gambit, and the Corki locked in.
Wow, they're actually going to just
take away the
lock the Jax. So I guess they just want to do it a takeaway from Zion. They want to see what else he can play. I mean, there's still a lot of top lane. There's Rumble up, there's Maokai up, and Zion showed that he was like decent on Maokai, so I think that's actually a decent matchup as long as you have something that can match the Jax in the late game.
We see, go ahead.
I like that they take away the Jax, especially since they're 1-0 up in this series. They basically can find out what ZionSpartan's answers to his own champion. If it's 0-0, maybe not the best idea, but otherwise, maybe they don't even have an answer themselves. You know, they might be guessing, okay, Gnar's out, Aurelia's out, I don't have anything left to play into Jax, let's just play that.
So if they actually do lock this Nunu in, back last season when Jax was a pretty popular champion, a lot of people considered Nunu to be a really good pick and him because if he jumps into your team, you just snowball him and slow his attack speed, and he can't make it out of the team fight, and he just gets run down.
And you've been talking about Nunu all day, Saint. You really want to see that champion and see what teams can do with it if it's properly played.
But I love Nunu.
I'm not a Nunu fan at all in this patch. I think he's really weak.
Elise and Vayne, actually, again, the DoubleLift Vayne coming in there. Didn't work out yesterday, but he wants to redeem himself.
Yeah, they're definitely going to 2v1 in this situation, but they might get called on the lane swap again, like we saw in the first game versus Roccat. And I think that'd be a really big problem for them because Vayne cannot match the Corki in lane.
Yeah, it's gonna get pretty rough. Wait, am I missing a support here? Is it gonna be new support?
No.
There's a Kassadin lock in though for Nick.
Okay.
And there we go.
I like the Kassadin into LeBlanc matchup. Let's see if NIQ can play it as well as Link was doing up until that point where he got ganked.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good matchup for Kassadin, and it's a really smart pick too. Like they saw even in the last game, like, wait, this is actually pretty effective, and I'm sure he plays it in solo queue, and I'm sure they scrim with it. Good pickup here.
And it probably will be the Janna that will get locked in here for Edward. And then we're going to see what ZionSpartan is going to reply with on the side of CLG in that top lane.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they're going to pick here because they need an AD top laner to match into the Jax at this point.
Or otherwise, Vayne's going to be their answer for Jax late game split push. And we saw when CLG played Vayne last time, when DoubleLift split pushing and answering or just being answered, the rest of the team just didn't quite get their grasp on the game. Then again, they were behind in the laning phase early, so you can't judge it on just one game. But a pretty wonky comp from CLG. It doesn't excel at team fighting really. It has some split push components, but then again, LeBlanc wants to make some picks, so
I think we might see Renekton. A lot of people used to like playing Renekton into Jax, but I think one of the problems with that is if you do that level 2 cheese and you do end up in a 1v1 lane,
it fixes a lot of the problems.
Yeah, it fixes a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
You'll see they're definitely thinking about it long and hard here because it's going to be instrumental. It is a best of 5, but if you lose 2 in a row, you're in for a good time in that. For the rest, Lee Sin for Diamond, as you guys called, will maybe be able to make those early plays again on the side of Gambit, and CLG definitely doesn't want that.
if LeBlanc and Elise can't pick somebody off immediately when a fight starts, it's gonna be really tough for DoubleLift because Kassadin can gap close on him. If they drop a pink ward, Jax can jump on him. Like they'll have to need a condemn for the Jax, but at the same time, Elise and Kassadin will be going for him. I like the Maokai if it comes to fighting because now CLG's comp got a lot better at team fighting. They can have the Maokai just stand in front, soak up damage, and it basically locks people in position. And then LeBlanc can play around that, Vayne can play around that. But if there's no tank in front, the team comp would become impossible to play. So I really like the fact that it rounds out the composition. The only issue I have is
it's putting a lot on DoubleLift.
DoubleLift has to answer that Jackson late game, or CLG as a team need to keep him down.
Yeah, we'll see if DoubleLift rises to the occasion. We have to go away for 90 seconds, but when we come back, we'll see game 2 between CLG and Gambit. Stay put.
Masters Cologne. We're moving into game number 2 between Gambit and CLG. The scoreline, of course, stands 1-0 in this best-of-5 final in favor of Gambit. Just 2 games away from booking their spot at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship in Katowice next year. Now, the question is, the picks have obviously changed pretty drastically, Deficio. What do we think to them?
Well, I mean, for me, a big question mark is going to be ZionSpartan on the Maokai, because normally he's the split-pushing person. We don't often see him play the teamfight-focused champions. If he can perform on it, his Rumble, while he had some decent ultis, he didn't really have any impact on the game yesterday when he played it. It was the game that lost to Rocket, of course. And funny enough, the same game, DoubleLift was playing Vayne.
It's definitely going to be a tricky game, a tricky setup. It's good old protect the DoubleLift, as always, from CLG, it seems, this time around, although Link may have something to say about that. Had a very impressive game on LeBlanc yesterday. Went 9-3-1 or something like that. He was stuck in Elo hell in his team at that game. But this time around, they're going to have a real tough time, I feel, personally, judging by the 2 comps. Gambit actually got a really good team.
Yeah, Gambit has a very nice setup here, very strong lanes as well, and it should mean CLG wants to lane swap it, so if we see them going in deep ward here early on to try and spot it, it wouldn't actually surprise me. Gambit, on the other hand, moving down the spot lane themselves, maybe hoping for CLG to come in there and place the deep wards.
Well, CLG headed topside, Gambit on the bottom side. Looks like we could just see them trudge across the map at this rate and put wards down on their own side. Also want to touch on ThinkCard, because we noticed in that last game went haunting guys after his first jungle item. Didn't really like that, considering the fact as well that they had no tank in there. Do you think there's going to be a change of itemization on his side?
I mean, I would hope he goes for early magic penetration boots if he wants to try and duel Diamondprox in the early game. Because the thing is here, you have the Kassadin LeBlanc matchup in the mid lane, which obviously we saw beforehand. Kassadin does super well, he can sit and farm, and if Diamond can apply a lot of pressure there, get Nick ahead in this lane, then suddenly we can have the same situation as the last game, and that would require ThinkCard here to step up his game, because he has not been performing at all for CLG so far.
Well, it's a mirror from both these teams with the deep wards. Gambit down the bottom and CLG along the top. That means the lane swap almost certainly will come out. They spotted the wards going down. No invades coming out, it doesn't seem. Will it? May well be. it looks like ThinkCard's actually going to stick around and go for Gromp in Gambit's jungle.
Well, the thing is, when you have the lane swap here, you always want to go in and take one of their buffs, so you avoid the enemy team getting 3 buffs at level 1. And that's basically what they're doing here. You take the Gromp, you know Gambit is on the bottom side of the map because you saw the ward being placed all the way up on the top side of the map between the 2 towers in the bottom lane of CLG. So you know they're on the bottom side, you basically just swap the map around now, and it's a very, very standard start. The only difference is still these 2 top laners doing a camp on their own at level 1, so they're instantly level 2, and therefore won't be denied as much experience as we have normally seen.
Well, yeah, if you look at the minimap, seeing Diamondprox traverse the map and head over onto the enemy blue buff. Well enough, Zion is coming down to him. Might actually just check that just to see what the progress of Diamondprox is at this stage. You can see he is actually moving in towards that blue buff camp, so you may be able to spot him, or at least we'll see that blue buff has already gone at this point. Down to 400 HP, and ZionSpartan might be able to actually cause him a couple of little problems here. They will take the blue buff. Wasn't exactly easy for him, but Diamond got that one on lockdown for now. Will actually leave a little bit of experience behind, though.
Yeah, but super smart play by Diamond. He is waiting for his Q to be back up. He does more damage the lower the target is, and just securing the buff here, which is very important for him. You don't want the Maokai to get a blue buff as well at level 1.
Cabochard getting some good damage back on Aphromoo, but Nick in that mid lane's been having a torrid time already. ThinkCard looking to come around for a gank. The ward will spot him instantly, so Eddie, good timing there. But Nick was close to actually being within smite range, ignite range. But actually, looking at Link, so is he, and he's kind of out of mana. He's been trying to burn Nick down as hard as possible, but I think he's kind of burned himself out in the process.
Yeah.
And you can see there is the passive popped, and he's going to be in trouble now.
All these early game trades are so much in favor of Nick because he's running Flask and he's running... That's it. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to say about that. That is just an outplayed moment there. Now DoubleLift in this top lane, going to be hammered away on. The exhaust was used. DoubleLift actually using Summoner Heal and Flash there to get back behind his turret. And this is not the start that CLG wanted in this game.
You have just played the same matchup in the last game. You know the damage of the Kassadin. You know as well he's starting Flask, 3 potions. So these early trades will go in favor of him. And yet you just keep fighting, stay around. And in the end, Nick barely had to do anything. He didn't even use Flash. He just Q and killed him.
Not to mention he's getting his mana back from his W as well that entire time. And Link stood there, no mana, just literally getting taken down. And, well, certainly not the best of starts here. Gambit actually sticking around on that top lane there. Aphromoo and DoubleLift, though, will come straight back in to get back into farming.
Yeah, we have to talk about this Gambit lane swap because they have their own way of playing it. They instantly send the support and top laner to the lane swap side here to face the enemy dual lane. And this simply means they make sure there's no time to build up a big wave or freeze it. They instantly just start pushing it out and just actually have a standard 2v2 lane, but just with the top laner. And now Nick is in trouble.
No, I'm not sure
yeah,
he is.
Flash.
He had also just used the Force Pulse, so he'd got that shield already on him. Not the Force Pulse, the Null Sphere. So he'd already got that shield on him, which had built it up. And obviously with DoubleLift being sent packing a moment ago, that's delayed him as well in that top lane. Meanwhile, it's all happening. Pinoy on his own, free farming, of course, against the ZionSpartan on Malphite. Not going to have too many problems there, really. He could just sit and quite happily play it. Now you can see he's just trying to freeze the lane out as deep as he possibly can. So ZionSpartan can't get close.
No, but this is the problem about the Gambit lane swap tactic is the enemy top laner gets a lot of farm and experience down in this bottom lane. Instead, though, they want to try and focus this top lane, get some kills, and Cabochard. Diamond is coming in. They didn't see him.
Oh, look at the timing on this one. Diamond will come around. There's the knock-up. Surely going to go for DoubleLift here. Teleport will come up. There's the hook onto Diamondprox, but he will just simply safeguard away from that. And in the end there, they've burnt that teleport.
Burn the teleport here. No cancel from ZionSpartan because I believe actually it was a Sonic Wave from Diamond here on one of the minions. He just connected to and jumped back, and in the end now, in this bottom lane.
Yeah,
Pinoy's left all alone.
Well, they just saw, of course, ThinkCard was there. Nick quickly pinged it, said, okay, jungler is here, you're safe. Pinoy just shoved that lane. He just tried to bounce it off the turret as hard as he can. DoubleLift immediately rushing down there. Really wants to try and get some of that CS before it goes all to waste in that bottom lane. He will get, what, 1-2 CS, I think, maybe max down there.
And that was big for Gambit, forcing that teleport, and also DoubleLift lost pretty much the entire wave here. So he is behind in farm compared to Pinoy. He also got a free time to go back because he knew I pushed a wave in, get my Sheen, take these very short trades with the Vayne, which is super smart because once Vayne hits level 6, you cannot have these long trades. He will win it. The Vayne will win these trades with his ulti. So now Pinoy instead just looking small trades. He can also poke with his rocket and get the Sheen proc.
Well, he's back in there with a 10 CS lead. DoubleLift, though, keeping this wave on his side of the map for now. Vamp Scepter for him. Pinoy actually investing in a pink ward of his own there just to put down in that tri-bush, and the one from his trinket as well. So feeling safe now.
You'll never see DoubleLift do that, I don't think. That's for sure from what I've heard from every support he's played with. Yeah, so pink ward, so buying himself his own coverage in that top lane, while Eddie, of course, wasn't with him. He is making his way down, so we are going to see that straight lane matchup this time around, but both AD carries closing in on that level 6. DoubleLift going to hit there in a moment, but Pinoy, I think we'll be happy with the way this has worked out.
Yeah, there's a big difference between these two AD carries at the moment. You have the Sheen already for Pinoy. There's a big early power spike for him, and of course he's a level ahead of DoubleLift because of what happened in these lane swaps. So definitely in favor of Gambit at the moment. And notice how Edward, he didn't actually show himself yet. Just staying here and making a CLG wonder where he is.
Well, blue buff's going to be given over to their mid laners now. Nick will be getting his first of all. Obviously, bottom side of the map came up a little bit later there, but it was ZionSpartan who finished off the camp, so he'll actually be able to just let the rest of his team know when that's actually coming into play. On the top lane, we saw second Doran's Blade, plus the health crystal there as well for Cabochard. Other side, the Rod of Ages obviously started here by ZionSpartan, getting himself the Catalyst, the Protector in these early stages. Bottom lane still remains 10 CS leaders. Aphromoo going to go really low from this one. Not quite enough damage to finish off, or will there be? Pinoy going in. Exhaust is used though, and he's being pulled into tower range. Meanwhile, Cabochard flashes over the wall. ThinkCard will join him. He's gonna go down here. They'll trade 1-for-1. Diamond though might fall foul of this one with Link coming around. Now Nick joins in the party as well. The chains will stun him up, and that means that no more action will come of it. Or will it? Nick's going aggressive here. We'll get the slow. We'll knock the Mimic out there as well, as I forget the name completely, and there is Ignite ticking away as well. Won't quite be enough to finish him off, but Nick coming in and showing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, that bottom lane continues to be ridiculously low.
Yeah, a lot of action down this bottom lane as well. Aphromoo is super low. He needs to be careful here. Doesn't get a big rock hit in the face from Pinoy. We have seen him snipe people before.
Yeah, we'll see whether that big bomb's ready and waiting. The concussion. The concussion? We'll maybe give him concussion.
We're just making stuff up today. Mirror image, not mimic, is the name of LeBlanc's passive as well.
That's all right, Joe. We don't cast this game anymore. We can do what we want. It's great. It's just going at it. Throwing all sorts out there. But yeah, that was a very close trade. Obviously, while we switched to the top and saw the kills happening, you could see the hit point blip markers, DoubleLift and Aphromoo down to nothing on their tower. And the CS differential sticking Pinoy's favor, with him maybe having to back early on once again. You can see he's life stealing away with that Vamp Scepter as much as possible and hoping that Aphromoo comes back as quick as possible. Luckily for them in the bot lane, that action in the top actually forced no one to come down and help, because we could have easily seen Nick coming down and picking up some kills.
Yeah, he had to go top instead and almost finish off Link. Instead, though, he forced him to go back again, and you can see the difference just in CS at the moment. Link died once, forced back as well, and once again, 280 carries trading here. Not really a trade DoubleLift wants to take.
Vamp Scepter, though, at least there will be able to bring him some health back. Also want to mention, we talked about ThinkCard's build and whether that Haunting Guise was the right way for him. Looks like he's actually going for that again here as his second item, which, I don't know, we'll see how that works out for him this time around, having that Maokai in there for a bit more tankiness. And look at Link going super low. Nick got plenty of mana. He's going to dive right on top of him, gets the kill. ThinkCard comes around, but guess what? He's not going to be able to kill him off here. Well, actually, he will be able to. Nick going on towards the top side. He left his flash super late there.
I think he wasn't expecting, obviously, you talked about the Amtone being picked up. I don't think he was quite expecting the damage from ThinkCard there.
Well, first of all, he was waiting for Diamond to actually come down and join him, and in the end, he just wanted to try and bait it, and...
Surprise! Boom!
That's it. So, a little bit greedy, I guess, from Nick in this mid lane. Definitely a misplay from him, but he was waiting for Diamond, also why he tried to flash, like, towards the top side of the jungle here. Shouldn't have died, though. Could have just flashed away and played it safe. But Haunting Guise this time around is coming a lot earlier for ThinkCard, which is a very important thing. Last time he got it super late, where it didn't really do too much. He can go for his magic penetration boots as well now, and have a lot of single target burst against this Lee here. I'm still not a big fan of the Haunting Eyes. I don't think it's needed. Just get your Magic Pin boots and then go full tank from there on.
Well, one thing that does surprise me is the fact that Nick has simply 1-2 one-on-ones running. This is something you don't often see at the pro level. You don't often see the one-on-ones simply being traded. Always has to require a jungler because they generally know the limit that they can push to. But I think he just got caught out like twice, as you mentioned. The fact that they just played it in the last game, but they're going in. Cabochard's actually in trouble. Is going to get dived on towards the turret. Is it enough? Diving at Jax is a dangerous thing, and they will get away with it. Now they're going to counter down the bottom.
Yeah, that was nice though, and actually Aphromoo going to bring them in, but he gets knocked up, and I think he might die here. Good little exhaust, one more rocket should do it, or a flying Diamondprox. He gets knocked against the wall though. You don't want to risk that against a player like DoubleLift, who will come in there. 2 tower hits for Janna, good damage onto Pinoy as well, but no more kills for DoubleLift down there. That'll be a 2-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, and this kill here for DoubleLift should mean he has enough gold for his Blade of the Ruined King, which is so important for him on this Vayne pick. A little bit aggressive once again. Oh, teleport behind Gambit here, actually.
Yeah, Pinoy, is he going to get pinned out here? That's the question. ZionSpartan is closing in, but in the mid lane is also Link and Nick making their way down the river. Actually, to light ThinkCard. Nick, he's going to go straight in. That was a quick cleanup. Wasn't expecting it to go down that harsh. And Pinoy, well, he takes a death. It's ThinkCard, actually, that picked that one up.
So just before he actually came in the lane here, he used the sweeping lens on the bush, and I think there was a ward from CLG which basically got turned off, and then he just jumped in, DoubleLift didn't see him, and instantly killed him. I think he's on this dragon alone. There's a lot of members around for CLG here, and then no Pinoy is dead, so they should actually be able to take it unless Nick can come in and stop it. He has full mana. Right now he's just being zoned away.
Yeah, Diamond's going to have to pull out the smite of all smites, I think, to try and get in this one with Link nearby. You can see them through the ward. Lands the kick.
Just wait for
Sonic
it.
Wave, yeah. They've got to wait for it. The Sonic Wave to wear out. It reset the Dragon a fair amount. That's actually going to delay it. And the rest of Gambit had given time to actually get closer.
This could be really, really bad. There's a Sonic Wave landing once again. 1500 HP they're going. They managed to get the Dragon as well. But can they get out? Diamondprox taking a lot of damage. But look at the damage from Nick there across the entire team. Diamond was able to flash away from it as well. They get the Dragon and get out alive. Brilliant from Diamond and Nick.
So as soon as CLG decided to disengage from the Dragon here, Gambit saw the opportunity to just jump in, burst it with Kassadin and Lee, and just...
Yeah, well, he was going in aggressively, but, you know, when there is a LeBlanc still there and everybody else, and Eddie's just like, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I mean, I know it's like a complete contrast to Genja, but he's just like, hey, you got a little too deep on that one.
Yeah, this is what happens when you are a very aggressive player and everything works for you in game one and you feel like you can just do whatever you want. This one, punished. They got the Dragon, however, for Gambit. That was just nice setup again. Nick going in and bursting it together with Diamond because everyone for CMG had backed away. And let's see if DoubleLift can stay alive.
I'm not sure he can. Nick's going in. He's got one combo on him. Cabochard could dive this tower. He's going to leap on towards him now. Has to use that ultimate to back away. And we'll stealth back to the tower.
Still even in gold here, and CLG is actually... Sorry, CLG ahead in gold, but even in kills for now. And DoubleLift has managed to survive on this Vayne pick in the early game. 104 CS. Blade of the Ruined King already completed. A lot of the kills though for CLG went on to ThinkCard.
Well, that's his chance to shine. Maybe his chance to sign as well if they can win Intel Extreme Masters. We doubt that though at this point. We'll see as Link comes back now into that mid lane with the Morellonomicon. Not quite the Rod of Ages for Nick just yet, but he's got 1400 gold, which means that next time he does go home, we'll be able to pick that one up and come back into the lane all that more stronger. Let's have a look at some CS totals here. DoubleLift still 10 CS behind, basically. We've also got Diamond coming in towards his top lane. Now Maokai, Rod of Ages in there, got a bit of armor as well. And I think he's at that point where it's just a little too dangerous to go in. Meanwhile, CLG have said we want some vision control now, and they've warded the entirety of the bottom side of Gambit's jungle.
Yeah, this is something Aphromoo has already been super good at. Going inside the enemy jungle on this Thresh pick here, or the Alistar when he plays it, get down all the deep wards. It basically gives you so much information and allows you now to pre-plan some place because you can see where the enemy is, you can see where they're moving after the clear camp, and therefore set up your place.
Well, Eddie, quick fast fingers, dodged out of that one. The chains didn't look like they were going to land anyway, I don't think. It's giving Nick a little bit of freedom in this mid lane to try and push as hard as he can. That tower taken fairly low, but all of those wards down will give them good vision in the bottom half of the jungle. Maybe try and set something up. Nick's being a little reckless there. And actually will just have to riff walk away. Taking a heck of a beating for the process. Diamond going in. Aphromoo flashes out of the Sonic Wave there. And CLG on the back foot this time.
Good to see Diamond with the chilling smite here. We have seen Lulex from H2K, who qualified to the LCS yesterday, actually go for ranges on Lee. It's a bit more safe. But here the thing is, if you do manage to get your first gang off, as this Lee Sin with the chilling smite, it is super good. Let's see what happens in top. Just trading. No real all-in yet.
ZionSpartan having a bit of a tit for tat with him. Of course, as you mentioned, Rod of Ages was completed by Zion already. Cabochard yet to get that Triforce, so you'd kind of give it, I would say give it to ZionSpartan for now. We'll see, of course, he will regenerate health as Cabochard tries to beat him down, but the blue buff is going to be gifted. Looks like it will be linked to pick that one up, and that's going to leave that mid turret open for a little bit longer.
But now they're just farming in this top lane, and we have actually seen CLG earlier in the game try and shut down Cabochard. I mean, he's died twice already. ThinkCard has been up there. Link as well was up there once to kill him. Because they know if they can keep this Jax down and get DoubleLift ahead, then suddenly he can win the one-on-one.
Aphro taking a lot of damage there. Trying to set things up for DoubleLift. Still no Trinity Force for Pinoy, but that shouldn't be too far away either, to be honest. Sat on about 1100 gold at this point, so that was all but there at this stage. Here comes Diamond. Can he land the Q?
Wow.
Oh, he goes down the middle. DoubleLift coming in there as well. Will pin Eddie against the wall. There is the TP from ZionSpartan. ThinkCard was in there, and that will be 4 men all of a sudden down this bottom lane. Maybe lucky that Diamond didn't land that Q in the end, because it could have been the death for him. Cabochard will take the top tower, but they're going to lose the bottom one.
Yeah, instantly as Gambit saw the teleport coming in from ZionSpartan, they just disengaged. They never used the teleport from Cabochard. He would just want to trade for the tower up here in the top lane and actually keep pushing in. Meanwhile, Nick taking quite a lot of damage.
Might be able to get him with the mage change. I think that shield just about enough to keep him alive. Tries to turn it back around. No, Diamond in there. Misses the kick. Doesn't matter. The ignite from Nick will get the kill, so it was a straight trade 1-for-1.
Trading 1-for-1 though. Cabochard coming down from this top lane. Let's see if ThinkCard can get baited into a bad fight here.
Well, let's have a look. Diamond gonna kick him in, and look at that. Cabochard is in there. That is a combo of dreams for Gambit. Good flash, but 2 of them follow through. Maybe the double flash wasn't a thing of dreams, but kill's a kill at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess it worked pretty well.
Worked very well. So, all square, 8 apiece. Look at that, the bait there with the recall. Aphromoo not going to fall for it. So, 24 seconds on that dragon. Remember, it was stolen away by Gambit last time. We'll see whether they try and set up for it the second time. Of course, both teams will have the timers. They were both present for it. No bottom turret to fall back to for Gambit, though, and CLG have the river advantage.
Yeah, and ZionSpartan just pushed out this top lane, now running down. He doesn't have teleport ready. Cabochard is in the base, picking up his Trinity Force. At the moment, though, here, problem for Gambit is they don't really have a tank just yet, but they do have this Corki with this massive mid-game power spike. Jax is still fairly squishy with just the Trinity Force, and he can be blown up by someone like Link.
Good cheeky check from Diamond there, recalling in the bush to see whether Aphromoo throws that death sentence at him. Knows that there is no ward in there without using the scrying orb. Nick getting caught. The chains will go down on Link. That may be a problem. We can see, of course, they're going to dive on towards him. I don't think he's going to win this duel. Teleport comes in. Phosphorus bomb from around the side. Corki going for it. Nick manages to live. Eddie with the shield on him. Wow. Crazy stuff there. They actually got the kill on Link. Now the rest of Gambit are going to keep on chasing. They're in a death push, though. This is dangerous.
Well, we'll see how dangerous it is. There is Cabochard coming around that backside. They want to get rid of some vision. It's Eddie that's hooked in. Cocoon will follow as well. Who are they going to go for? Look at the damage onto Aphromoo. He will go down. ThinkCard will surely drop as well. It's Pinoy that gets that, but DoubleLift going mad at the back will get 2. Can he get 3? Valkyrie away, he won't. It's a double for Diamond and an ace for Gambit.
And Eddie right here, he basically sacrifices himself for the team. He runs into Face Shake and says, under support, if you want to use everything on me, that is fine. The rest of my team can clean up. Pinoy on this Corki here, the maximum power spike for him this early in the game. Trinity Force, you have your magic penetration as well. Left untouched. Look at it again. Edward here, sacrifice himself. He's going to be the first target CLG takes down.
Got the Howling Gale on 4 of them.
It's perfect. Cabochard, meanwhile, tanking up a lot of the damage. And look at Pinoy here, completely untouched. Same can be said for DoubleLift. And in the end, though, it's just a 2 versus 1 in favor of Gambit.
Nick wasn't there that whole time.
They both died. Link
Yeah.
and Nick
Both,
died before it.
yeah.
That's true, they did. My mind is that
There's
of
a
a
lot happened
goldfish.
there, Joe. A lot happened.
I am a bit of a goldfish when it comes to remembering, you know, my own name and stuff like that. That's why I went for the simple one at the end of it. Couldn't remember my nickname after 2 weeks. So
It's all right. The internet will never forget.
no, I know they won't. I might have noticed that one at this stage of things already. Well, let's have a look at some items then. Both mid lane is actually coming back in here with very similar, actually. Needlessly Large Rod, Ant Tome, a piece. AD carries. Obviously, that Trinity Force Sorcerer's Shoes has been added to by a BF sword now for Pinoy. Other way around is the Zeal Avarice Blade. So we'll see that Shiv coming out next for DoubleLift. And less dueling going on between them this time around, which I don't know. Maybe that's better for Pinoy this time around against that Vayne. Obviously, game one was a lot of duels between them, which Pinoy certainly came out on top of. For now, it's Gambit that hold a 1,000 gold lead in this match. Let's see what they can do, because CLG are actually up in their jungle on that bottom side.
That was a lot of damage.
Yeah, Link getting a little bit out of sorts. He has got the support of his team, though. They were all close by in the jungle. Gambit may actually respond to this one. The tower in the mid lane is actually very weak, so that will probably be an ideal objective. Just go in, clean that up, and that's exactly what Cabochard's going to do.
Yeah, as soon as they force CLG to walk down towards the bottom lane, they know they can quickly go back to this mid lane, take it down. Might even push further in. Everyone just recall from CLG here. You have a Jax as well.
Yeah, they're going to get some good free damage on it. Don't forget with the Janna shield on there as well. In comes Pinoy, all 5 members grouping on towards his tower. Let's see what they can get down on it. I feel CLG will be able to respond, but no! That was just mullet.
And right now, Gambit is just using their power spike on this Corki super well. You have Trinity Force as well completed on the Jax, and your Kassadin in this mid lane who got the first blood, one-on-one against Link, Hourglass completed. Every single member at the moment has so much damage, and if they get onto someone like DoubleLift, they will kill him instantly.
Of course, for you guys watching at home, this is another very bloody game. 13-10, 23 minutes gone. And of course, there is a vote for MVP for the Intel Extreme Masters. Don't forget to get over to intelextrememasters.com and lay your votes down for that one. The number of players playing in this finals are in that vote. Some fantastic games yesterday, and of course, this final today looks like it's going to be a hectic affair. I think we've had some pretty epic starts to both of these matches so far.
Look at this play here, though. We've seen this before from DoubleLift, and also something SK Telecom used to do a lot, where you send a Vayne in to suddenly gank the enemy top lane, who's not expecting him to be there.
Well, is he going to have enough damage? He should do. Force Pulse will come out. Has he got the shield? Go! Nicely done, DoubleLift. That was well played by him. ZionSpartan didn't even get involved in that, I don't think. I think a sapling maybe touched down in him. That's about all.
But just what you
Good
can
enough.
do in this Vayne. I mean, once you have the blade, static shift as well, you have so much single target damage. Sneak in there, nobody expects the AD carry to stand in a bush and wait 25 minutes in.
Well, Nick might expect it next time that he goes up towards that top lane. We'll think twice about pushing past the halfway point. Let's see though, Gambit now finally getting some wards down in the enemy jungle. We said this in game number 1 where they had a more substantial lead. I think it's very fair to say at 25 minutes in. They didn't quite ever really push a big lead when it came to vision. But this time around, they seem to have wanted to remedy that one, especially on that side of the map where a third possible dragon could be coming up for them. Actually, a fourth? Have they got 3 already?
No, I got 2.
They got 2 now. Yeah, so a third possible dragon. Of course, we're only 25 minutes into this one after all. And that would be a big bonus for them. They're up in turrets now after that middle inner turret was taken away. Yeah, Diamond, you probably don't want to be hanging around in that area.
At the moment, both teams really fighting for the vision control in this bottom side of the jungle.
Yeah, the
for
battle of the
CLG.
pinks.
Constantly just going in, killing the pink wards. Every time they have the chance, place their own and then step away. It's just setting up for Dragon here. Last game, Gambit 25 seconds before Dragon spawned, they would suddenly recall, having 0 wards around the Dragon, and in the end CLG could pick it up. This time around, they're setting it up 1 minute in advance, constantly fighting for it, and it's a very, very nice setup for them.
I imagine that's exactly what their analyst said to them, their coach who was here. We saw him on stage after game number 1. That's the kind of the freebies as a coach that get gifted to you that you can just look at and say, okay, that needs to change next game if we get to this scenario. And that seems to have indeed changed for Gambit. Only 30 seconds now until that Dragon comes back into play. We're going to see Eddie actually recalling. Pinoy will recall as well. So they're going to be coming into this one with about 5 seconds to spare at this rate.
Yeah, I take back what I just said, because 30
put
seconds
the wards down, but then
before,
recall
and
anyway.
Now everyone just left it, so they're pushing up in this bottom lane. Diamond is sitting ready, and he is also sitting and waiting.
I don't think he's going to be ready for 5 members of CLG if they all come down, though.
Again, it's way too easy for CLG to just walk in this river here. There's nobody from Gambit to punish them.
Zion, maybe?
And once again, CLG can set up for a pick.
They've got no vision
that's
of them.
Sky North didn't see them. Cabochard not going to get caught out, and actually this could go messy for both teams, but ZionSpartan not with them at the moment because Diamond tries to flank around, does manage to land the Sonic Wave onto Link, but ThinkCard's taken so low, dropped down, quick calls, Cabochard flashing in, he's after Aphromoo, Link comes around, Aphromoo low, DoubleLift taken down, Cabochard gets on Aphromoo, and just like that, CLG caught napping, and Gambit so fast to react.
And Diamond here, he wanted to kick Flash DoubleLift into his own team. In the end, though, he actually just ended up flashing away from him and kicking DoubleLift away. Still, Gambit going straight for Baron.
I'm not sure about this one.
Link is still pretty fed here. He can come down. There's a good ward though to spot him. Oh, ZionSpartan out of position.
Yeah, force a flash. There's a lot of slow, to be fair, on this Gambit team. Maybe not to, lock you up in terms of stuns, but a lot of slow, and he's not going to be able to walk away. And that means Pinoy now on a rampage at 4-2-4. Dragon number 3 now should be going to Gambit. However, the rest of CLG are coming now back down towards that Dragon area after respawning and healing up for some of them, but let's see if Gambit can actually take that away.
It is gone.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's a very quick one for Gambit. They've got a heck of a lot of damage now. And CLG coming into this one a little slow. Be careful they didn't actually get caught in the wake of Gambit turning back around. So, Gambit now with 3 dragons.
Yeah, but it's actually fantastic to watch. You don't invest into any ping boards. You recall 30 seconds before the dragon spawns, and the enemy team actually sets up ready to pick you off. And as soon as it happens, they miss it. Gambit just turn around and say, fine, we'll take it, we'll fight.
We'll have a fight, yeah.
And just destroy CLG. Again, this Corki pick is so strong at the moment. Kassadin has had a great game just from the start, and even the Jax pick just been part of team fighting at the moment. And they're just stronger. CLG can take the 5v5. They need more items on the Vayne.
It's something we talked about in the pick and ban once we came back to us and we finished. It was just like, so they've got a lot of dive buddies, protect the DoubleLift, but there's only so much you can protect him from. And obviously while they were trying to protect him, the rest of this team were just getting destroyed.
Simple as it is. I mean, Thresh is not enough to save DoubleLift here. He's going to be on his own. He's going to have to just try and kite around. And while someone like Diamondprox might be chasing him, well, Pinoy just sits in the backline and kills the rest of CLG, so it's working out for now for Gambit, but it's not over yet.
I think the CLG team not exactly the strongest on the back foot either, especially when you've got Gambit with that amount of slows and the mobility that they've got in there. They're just going to chase you down in the end of it. We saw it in that last fight. There's a blue buff for Link, who has got his DFG in there. Zonya's on the other side for Nick. I like that little bit more safety for him. And if we look at Baron, it's currently all about Gambit is that side of the map. There's a pink ward by the Raptors, but you see their top side of the red buff is going to be warded out as well. Nice little sapling from Zion will spot the 2 of them coming around, or will it? There is Diamondprox looping around. They're going to dive in, but will they throw too much? Oh, Eddie, you beast! That was absolutely incredible. He's halfway into taking the lantern. Monsoon back says, no, you don't. They've lost their tank now, and the Baron is started by Gambit. This is going to be an all or nothing for CLG. They might even just go for nothing in the end and hope that Link can get in for a cheeky steal.
Let's see what happens here. Aphromoo with the hook. Oh, he's dead as well.
Oh, he's dead as well. Yeah, very much taken down quick. Cabochard maybe picked off here. Link's putting the damage down. DoubleLift does come around. DoubleLift getting some good damage.
Stop the Baron.
They could get on towards it. DoubleLift could clean up here. He's onto Diamond. Gets himself the double. Onto Pinoy. Has he got enough to take Pinoy down? No, not quite. Nick shuts him down around the side there. Link will back away. Pinoy's still alive. Eddie gonna get chased down. He's gonna get locked up. Pinoy not going to follow.
Oh, don't do it, Link.
Link's going for it.
Oh, he got him. He got him.
Woo. This is a close matchup, but Gambit have been aced by CLG.
It looks so good in the start.
I said all or nothing, and it was all this time around.
So Cabochard here jumping over the wall to take down Aphromoo, open up for both DoubleLift and Link to get him solo, even actually kill him. This Baron, man, he's not gonna die today.
The most mobile champion to dodge the green goo, and he gets caught. Oh well, no Baron for them either. So 19 to 16. A lot of kills in this game. That's what we like to see. See a hero, kill hero. That's what they're trying for, but it's CLG that managed to mop up in the last fight. And DoubleLift and Link got themselves a lot of kills there.
Yeah, and most importantly, they stopped the Baron here after the bait from Gambit, which caught ZionSpartan out again. He's not really had much impact on this Maokai yet. He's actually just been caught out a few times and ended up dying. So it is all about Link and DoubleLift at the moment.
And that's the thing about DoubleLift, you know, we were reading after that game the amount of, I think, bashing that DoubleLift gets after not having a great game. He gets an equal amount of praise when he has a good game as well. Let's not mistake any. Let's not make any mistake about that one. And we've seen time and time again in the past exactly how fantastic he can be on this Vayne. The question is whether Gambit can get in there, shut him down instantly, and then mop up the rest of the team. Whether Link can then follow through. We'll be finding out here as this one progresses. We're 32 minutes in. The gold is a 4,000 lead for Gambit. 19-16 in kills, 4-3 in turrets. Pretty close stuff. The one big difference, of course, is those dragon stacks. 3-0 at this point.
Yeah, right now Gambit could potentially start setting up for this dragon, but knowing them, they might recall in about a minute and then return for the dragon.
They're doing it now, at least this time.
Yeah,
which might actually cost them a Baron if they're not careful.
Rushing straight for this Baron here.
With the ping ward
There's a ward there behind the Baron pit from Gambit, so they know if they start it, they can rush there. This bottom lane didn't actually get pushed out by CLG, so there's going to be a big wave building up, and they're starting the Baron here. Gambit can react. Okay,
so they've shoved the wave. They've got a bottom wave going in. The mid wave, Cabochard just spotted them, I think. Yep, Cabochard spots them. Don't think that Aphromoo going to go too deep on this one. He's thrown the lantern out. He wants to land it. He gets it, but he pulls in a counter-strike. Isn't enough. Gets away. That's the exhaust used out there. They could turn this fight back on towards CLG instead. They're just going to poke them from range. The CLG trying for that death push mechanic. It may have worked in Season 2, but it was Gambit that started it.
But what CLG was trying to do as well was bait Gambit away from this dragon here, because 3 dragons at the moment for Gambit and 0 for CLG, so they constantly try and pull them towards this Baron here, away from the minions, away from the dragon. But that's just a free tower now for Cabochard.
Doing nicely here. They've managed to keep him away from the Baron. They have sent ZionSpartan back, or they were sending him back.
If they go back, Gambit can just take the Baron here, so they have to stay around and send someone back. There's no teleport.
He's gone. He's gone back to it. And look at Link. Link is actually moving over as well. Their only hope, really, it's just, kill off Cabochard, stop him from teleporting home. There is Link missing both of the chains. Cabochard will jump away, but Gambit have actually come down. They're going to take the dragon instead.
Dragon number 4 though as well. This is scary, scary time for CLG. They're already 1-0 down in this series. It is a best of 5. But to face a Gambit that is just one step away from now being a 5 dragon buffed up team when CLG have yet to secure themselves one is a dangerous prospect.
Oh, this is risky.
That's why they're going for the risky Baron.
No ping wards, no sweeping lanes here. So the ward from Gambit just sitting in there, once again spotting it. See what we can do to Nick.
They managed to pull him in there. There is Zonya's going to be used early. Diamond tried to get in as well and get his kick off into him. There is the kick. We'll get a couple of knockups, but Gambit not feeling like they were totally prepared for that one after being hooked in to start the fight. And I think that might reset things here for a while. In fact, Jax is recalling.
They were in that much control there that Cabochard was just farming the top lane. He didn't even bother TPing in, no worries. The whole Gambit were feeling confident in that one, but they have backed away deep. They have got a ping ward in the river, but they've all come around the back.
This is so smart. Yes, CLG came around the back here. You had the lantern for the Vayne. Elise jumped in herself, and of course the LeBlanc is. So Gambit Gaming, even though they had a ward outside the Baron, didn't get to see it. Nice little setup here. So after a few attempts, CLG actually managed to pick up the Baron, but they still have to worry. Next dragon, about 5 minutes. It's going to be the last one Gambit needs.
Well, we'll see what they can set up with it. It is a 3-minute buff. They can, of course, boost up their minions, try and push on down some of them towers. There is 3 inner turrets for Gambit for them to target on. Let's see which lanes they want to focus, because at the moment it's simply a case of defending their own base. And they need to be careful with the lack of vision that they have right now. They don't walk into any dangerous setup like Cabochard and the blue buff.
Yeah, Gambit can just wait here. Link, instead of going down for this blue buff, probably expecting it to be gone already, and doesn't want to face check at this point. We can see CLG now actually split up in a 1-3-1 if they want to, where you have the Vayne with the buffed up minions, and then of course the Maokai with teleport in a different lane, and just LeBlanc sitting in the middle where she can roam around, try and look for a pick. Right now though, Gambit is not letting CLG push out at all, just keeping them on their side of the map.
Probably the best thing that they can hope for in this scenario. Baron go in the way of CLG. Don't let him get into a position where you have to push out from your turret to kill off those minions with extended range. Cabochard is actually putting pressure on even in the bottom lane. Not just content with sitting back and stopping CLG pushing. He's actually taking the fight to them. There is Nick as well, waiting over the side of the wall. No vision of him, at least for now. CLG held back just that little bit longer.
Yeah, and only having 2 damage dealers on the side of CLG is gonna make it super hard here in the late game, because you're gonna have so many people diving either Link or DoubleLift, and if you take out one of the damage dealers, suddenly CLG has no damage left to actually kill anyone from Gambit. You see Cabochard, Randuin's Omen here to slow down the attack speed as well, and you have the Hourglass even for safety. Mikhail's for the Janna pick. It's gonna be very, very hard.
Well, I mean, at the moment, Gambit have done exactly what they needed to. They've just timed them out. There's only a minute left on the Baron buff now. Looks like they may try and make a concerted effort to push for the mid lane, but Gambit are already responding. They're coming round. Look at just off the side. Diamond looking to try and get one of those flanking kicks. He steps away from the pink ward, but the shield should be enough to keep this turret safe.
Yeah, but CLG has actually managed to start a push in both side lanes, which is very, very smart, because once the wave hits the tower down here, they can go from the mid lane to the top side with the bamboo, which is
about to run out.
So Gambit Gaming managed to delay them long enough.
I know. I said that a moment ago. It's great.
Did you now?
Calm down. Calm
You
down.
weren't listening yesterday. No, you're not even listening when you stood next to me, man.
Security to the caster room.
I was even lying. They didn't even manage to get a push in the top side. It's actually
You're just making it up as you go along.
Yeah, I'm just talking.
Well, Christmas is coming. We'll let you off.
Oh, it's been a long year for Deficio. Uh-oh, Link, you got a counter-strike. You're stunned. Where are you going to go from this one? He's going to take him. Just done nothing. Just dead. Just like literally could do nothing.
It's one of those kills for Jax, which is super nice. You jump in with the counter-strike, and then you just stand there and you start auto-attacking.
Like 3 times is really all you need as well when you're getting those kind of items in there. So Baron buff, as we've both mentioned at this point, I think we've ascertained
but
that's
Gambit
true.
stalled them long enough, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is really nice, because Deman said it first. Gambit are now pushing onto the inner turret in that top lane. Looks like CLG will react to this one. Albeit a little bit slow. Yeah, but we saw earlier how fast they can take these towers. Absolutely destroying them. Diamondprox once again trying to get around. They've managed to get ZionSpartan. They're going to kill him off. There's a hook onto Diamondprox, but there's not the damage to follow through here. DoubleLift, you can see on the side, eager to get involved, but when you've not got control of someone, this team will just jump on your face. You can see there Nick trying to move in onto him. Can they take this next turret? Already doing a good chunk. There's a flash hook from Aphromoo, but it didn't work out. Cabochard flashed in with that counter-strike up. Link came around. He almost got popped as he came right in there, and he's going to have to go back and heal again.
Well, you're not really sure what Cabochard was trying to do with his flash, but every time Link tries to go in, he gets so much damage in his face. He pops the passive, and he just has to flick Distortion again, go back to where he came from, and can never really assassinate anyone.
Gotta love that diamond kick. It's almost saying to Eddie, I've seen you do it. I can do the same thing. Catches him on that lantern.
10 seconds.
10 seconds on the dragon. This is a very important dragon for CLG. ZionSpartan will be up just in time. He can teleport in. And
they might be able to rush it here.
Yeah, Gambit not in position for this one.
No, again, Gambit, these dragon timers, not really using them too well here. They're coming up to try and stop them. There is teleport ready for ZionSpartan. We're going to have a fight here. If Gambit gets this dragon, it's going to be almost impossible for CLG to win.
Well, Cabochard can tank it down quite easily. Aphromoo's second low already. There's the teleport. Aphromoo's already dead. Exhaust was used. They dive everything on Cabochard, but Link's going to pay the price. Nick comes around the side. ThinkCard taken low. DoubleLift at the back, doing what he can. They're just trying to protect him, throwing everything towards DoubleLift, who is trying to tank them down. Can he kite them round long enough? He may have enough. He gets down Nick. Edward flashes away. Diamond runs for it, and CLG will secure themselves their first dragon of the game.
The mechanics for DoubleLift here, absolutely insane. He stays alive, he's just dancing around. Pinoy tries to jump and kill him, he ends up actually dying himself. And DoubleLift here, everyone chasing him, stays alive. It is not over yet. Now you got the 6% buff for CLG.
And 6%, 40 minutes in is a lot more damage. And that's what I said earlier, you know, you can say about DoubleLift having a bad game one all you want. If he hits the right mark, if he can't get held down, he's gonna rip through you. And we saw him brilliantly play. I hope we get to see a replay of that one, because that was DoubleLift carrying CLG through the fight, stopping the 5th dragon, getting their first of this match. The question now is, what are Gambit gonna do? Because that's the Vayne that you can't really handle.
So first of all, they shouldn't overchase here. They got Link down already, so you only have the Vayne left. At this time, you can step away a little bit, regroup, so the Vayne can just single out these targets here, because you saw, once we get the replay, hopefully, we can just see how they're going one by one to try and kill him. Let's just see it again here. Aphromoo dies very early on here, but Cabochard takes all the damage in return. Obviously, the Kassadin chase LeBlanc. Now, it's all about DoubleLift. Notice, first, Nick goes in. Pinoy jumps in to try and kill him. Next man joins in. He ends up dying for it. And they keep chasing him instead of staying as a group and, like, step away a little bit here. You have 2 members dead already. You're 5, or you're still 4 members left. You don't have to overchase him.
And once they've killed that man, you know, you never quite know. Are CLG just going to back off and say, don't 5 versus 4? They can have the dragon at this time, but if we get ace, we're wiped out anyway.
But of course, it is absolutely fantastic played by DoubleLift.
Yeah,
amazing.
Dancing around.
The fact that Cabochard went down, obviously, he's kind of the man that needs to deal with DoubleLift. But when you see Pinoy, the AD carry, going in, it was an easy twisted advance for ZionSpartan to lock them up. And I didn't see whether ThinkCard actually landed the cocoon as well to follow, but he was just basically out the fight as soon as he Valkyried in, which was crazy play for an AD carry, but sometimes, you know, it worked for his grave, so
it's the playstyle he's using on pretty much every single AD carry we have seen so far. He wants to get in there, try and kill
the thing is,
enemy AD carry, but it's not what you need to do at this point.
In a best of 5, you know, you have that surprise factor in game 1. And actually, I talked to DoubleLift in the break, and he just said, yeah, I just didn't think he was that good. I got caught out, I was surprised, and, you know, he outplayed me. Won't happen again. Well, clearly not. Now they know that he's diving into those fights, they can actually be prepared and counter it.
Yeah, as long as ZionSpartan is ready to lock him down, then DoubleLift can just change his focus and kill him. Link in these fights, because he's basically running without any defensive items, is probably going to be the first target, like we have seen. Nick can just take him down in a very short time. And there's still a ward in here now.
This is super dangerous. What happened here is that Nick was topside. They had no ward, so they didn't see him come down and ward out that Baron pit once again. They start it off. This time around, Gambit will see it happening, and we will be able to push them back away from it.
Well, they've delayed it for now. You can see Gambit, the moment they made that movement, of course, the minions in the mid-wave gave it away. So CLG back away, don't want to make any risky decisions, get caught out in positions they shouldn't. ZionSpartan with a wise sapling checking out that bush. Giant wave in his top
We've seen this
lane
before.
and the top lane, actually. And this time Cabochard, he's already got a couple of hits on towards that inhibitor turret. He may be able to chunk it down while the rest of Gambit delay him. But without vision, he's backing away. He's not going for it. There's no vision for Gambit in that bottom half of the jungle.
Yeah, every single ward has been put down around this Baron pit here. They have the pink as well. They know there's no ward from CLG. They're actually starting it, but they're gonna know by now. It's they already used the scrying off from DoubleLift as well.
10,000 HP remaining.
Oh, he's
going to
TVing
be watered
behind
down.
him.
They're going to try and get it from this one. They may catch out ThinkCard here. He will come down on top of them once again, and surely will be finished off. It's Diamond that gets that one. Where is DoubleLift though? At the front this time around. Gambit get the 1 kill back away, but they're pulling Cabochard as well. Twisted advance from ZionSpartan comes in, and DoubleLift still on the flank.
They can't touch him.
Absolutely hammering away at them. They're going to take out Nick here. Can they get any more with them? The phosphorus bomb comes through. He said 2 for 1. CLG turn, and surely we'll get Baron.
So this time here, Gambit engage in to get the first kill. They actually back away. They stayed together as a group, but then the hook come in from Aphromoo onto Cabochard here, and the fight is on again. ZionSpartan joins in, and nobody can touch DoubleLift in the back at the moment.
They have to deal with that wave in the top lane, surely, and say ZionSpartan's going to go back. They can't risk a Baron. There is a gigantic stack up there that you can see Link's going to go and try and deal with. That will get a big wedge onto a tower if they were left alone. But they use that bush very well. And just I think there's a lack of wards being brought into the fight that suddenly DoubleLift is like, well, I'm getting some free hits in here. And again, 24-21 now. 45 kills in 46 minutes. Definitely delivering the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne final so far. Gambit still leading, but CLG, look at this. They're taking another peek at the Baron.
Pink ward would be nice for in those fights as well, because I think both times DoubleLift has managed to stealth up and tumble away from the danger.
Yeah, but they have the upgraded sweepers here on both the two members, actually diving in towards him. Starting the Baron though once again. Pinoy is still running from base, same with Edward.
But they're on a ward this time around. Diamondprox actually starting with ZionSpartan. Cabochard coming around the side. This time around, not going to go deep. And actually, CLG are actually low on hit points here. A Link just around the side. They're going to catch him with the counter-strike, but Cabochard completely separated. DoubleLift will come in for that one. Link gets himself the kill, and it's now a 4-on-5 as CLG go back to Baron.
This is surely gone. They've got to have a hero here, and I think it's only going to be Nick that can do it. Goes in there, gets down Link. Can he get any more? They've managed to lock him up. He'll use the Zhonya's. He's actually out of range of the Monsoon there, I think, and that didn't do anything for Gambit. They're going to try and back off. DoubleLift going to dive in. Look at the damage. Here comes Pinoy. Can he be the hero that Gambit need? He gets locked up with the cocoon. DoubleLift will join back in from the backside, and there he is, unstoppable at 10-3-6. The rest of Gambit recall. This is Baron for CLG.
What was Pinoy doing in the back there? Everyone else was running away from DoubleLift, and Pinoy suddenly appears in the back against 3 members here, completely out of position. Baron for CLG. These late game team fights are absolutely insane. Ooh. This dragon here is going to be important. With ZionSpartan coming in.
ZionSpartan coming in, but he's going to be on his own. This is risky. He's going to go to Eddie. He's got a lot of damage, don't forget. If you can delay them long enough. DoubleLift and Koa coming back in. Diamond is close by. If they can just get the smite steal, it's going to be worth it. But this is so
Got
scary.
The dragon. Can they get out?
It. But now look at DoubleLift coming round. He's going to find Nick. It's Eddie he wants, maybe easy target. Nick gets punted away. They're going to keep on chasing. DoubleLift comes around. Nick running for his life here. Another tumble from DoubleLift should get the chase on. Aphromoo coming around the side. There's the pin. The Condemn gets the kill. And DoubleLift is on cleanup duty now.
Look at the minions as well. Every single one being buffed by the Baron here. They're pushing in. The only 2 members. Everyone else was chasing.
70 seconds spawn time for Nick as well. If they lose one more man here, they could end up losing the game. This tower is going down. There's nothing that Gambit can do about this one. There is Cabochard diving in. He's gone for Aphromoo though. Is that going to be costing him his life? DoubleLift continues on the backside. Cabochard will dive in. Can they finish him off? DoubleLift going out, but he doesn't get Diamondprox. They use everything that they've got there to go for DoubleLift. They may get Aphromoo as well. ThinkCard finally coming around, and there is the back away from CLG. In the end, they got the inhibitor turret there in that bottom lane. This game is absolutely insane.
Action, and more action right here.
That top tower might go down to minions here. There we go. As well. Another one picked up. So CLG equal in turrets. 6-6 turrets apiece. 26-24. 50 kills in 50 minutes. Absolutely amazing stuff. You know, there's a reason that Protect the DoubleLift is a team comp. You know, obviously you can criticize the guy, but at the end of the day, 11-4-6 on Vayne. This is his bread and butter, and CLG know exactly how to play this game.
Yeah, let him get to that late game here. He even sold his static shift and just picked up the Phantom Dancer. So he's ready for these fights. He's up in 20 seconds. CLG just have to hold on for now, which they will. We might just have one last 5 versus 5 team fight here.
I think you might be wrong
maybe
on that.
Few
maybe 1, 2, 3, who knows in this one. Of course, 5 dragon buffs for Gambit. Let's not forget that, because before that crazy fight kicked off, that was taken away. But what can they do with it? What is the plan? Obviously, Baron buff to run out won't take long at this stage, so once that is gone, are we going to be back onto a level playing field? DoubleLift has said no, it's not level anymore in the last 2 fights.
We have to highlight as well ZionSpartan on this Maokai here. He's just stacked with armor. And a Corki, you can't take down a big tank in the late game here, so there's actually nobody to kill him. That's why he's also staying alive and constantly peeling for DoubleLift in these fights here, making it even harder to actually kill him.
I'm intrigued to see where this game is going to go next. Just 2,000 gold between the 2 teams as we approach the 80,000 mark. Nobody wants to get caught out from either team. Aphromoo actually pretty low on hit points, but we saw earlier on when Eddie got focused, everybody throw in their damage at the support, and Eddie was happy to take it, obviously to buy time for this man on your screen, DoubleLift, and indeed Link as well, who's been drawing a lot of the aggro. You can see there's 8 deaths. That's because they have to focus him first. before they go for DoubleLift. As CLG, they're pushing the bottom, but they're leaving the top exposed. Cabochard might try to backdoor while they can hold them.
Yes, Teleport ready here, so might just try and trade what he can do out there for the inhibitor. ZionSpartan going back. No teleport for him, but this Jax pick, while we have seen Cabochard a few times run around on the side lanes, we haven't really seen much split pushing from him. We haven't seen him kill anyone one-on-one or like open up the base through split pushing. So he's been stuck in these team fights where it is very easy to kite a Jax around. He jumps in, Vayne condemns him, and he suddenly has no way of actually getting to the back line. It is one of the reasons Gambit cannot kill DoubleLift, and we just haven't seen the Jax really been used for what he excels at.
They're actually trying to chase down. They saw DoubleLift, they know he's there. They're trying to focus and catch him, but CLG quick to get out of there. And again, I think it's going to be a case of a Dragon or a Baron that's going to draw their attention. Baron buff, of course, already off. That will be respawning soon, but Dragon is the next thing to come. That will be in 2 minutes' time. CLG hoping, laying in wait, but they need to be quick to react here because the rest of Gambit are moving up towards the Baron. This could be a backdoor. They could go for the inhib.
Gotta recall instantly here. You don't want to lose because you're going to lose this race. They're actually going for it. Oh, this is risky.
This is super risky. Let's take stock of what's up here. Bottom lane, CLG pushing. Inhib turrets down, only an Inhib. Gambit are fast here. Gambit are really fast with this Jax. We see a recall from Maokai. CLG are going for it on the bottom side, but they're already on the Nexus turrets. Who's faster? Surely it's Gambit. They've already got one down. They've got the second one down. Gambit coming through the back door to win Game 2 here in the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne final. What the hell was that? Insane!
You cannot base race a Janna, Jax and Corki. They will just rip them turrets apart. Yes, DoubleLift was fed, but he's just one guy. You can't counter that much. And the speed, they were close, don't get me wrong, they were close. They took the second Nexus turret down as well, so they were onto the Nexus just about. But damn, what a game, ladies and gentlemen. What a game. 26-24, 50 kills, 53 minutes. Just about everything you wanted from a game there. And boy, do we have a clean sweep here for Gambit, or is it possible CLG are going to come back? I'm glad we got St. Vicious on the desk because he's been through this already in the
I'm going to have a heart
tournament.
attack if it carries on this way. I don't know about anything else. I might not see out the rest of this best of 5, but what a game that was. It had everything.
CLG were behind pretty much the entire game long, and these late game teamfights, DoubleLift just playing out of his mind, dancing around, nobody could kill him. And then the base race comes in again and actually takes the game.
Whew. A base race to finish a game. I mean, not well calculated by CLG. You send ZionSpartan back as, you know, someone who's not going to do any tower damage anyway, and is also not going to stop 5 people from wrecking your base.
It's just great shot calling from Gambit. Looking at the situation and saying, okay, we have a Jax on our side. We can actually get to this tower before they can get to our Nexus turrets as well and just take them down so fast. Super, super good shot calling. And it requires a serious set of balls to make that play. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, no doubt about it. But the thing is, CLG have done it a number of times, and it's worked. They've managed to sneak around there, especially DoubleLift. He's been teleported in before. It's back at Season 2 World Championships. It's been a fantastic second game in the series. This is a best of 5, so there is still at least one more to come. We're going to get over to Shox, St. Vicious.